like every now and then. And in 2019, to get a sinus infection was nothing. Like you can walk anywhere. You can walk into spa, look somebody in the eye with a sinus infection. Hello, Daphne. That's the best name I've ever read in my life because you say it like you read it out. Daphne. I definitely like you, Daphne. What's up, Massacre? So I woke up with this thing. Like I've only got one operational nostril because I've been using this thing, nasal spray, which is not even like a good one. It's one of those that when you don't have things now, you just go look in the cupboard and you start putting in. Stop switching your cameras off. Switch them back on, all of you, so I can see your faces. Those that I'm going to be able to see, I can only see like 9 of you at a time. But it's fine. I need you. Mom Johns, thank you. Your laugh at the moment has kept me going. And say hebole. I hope I'm saying that right. Say hebole. It sounds like a dish that can give you a running stomach. Hey, you have a hot say hebole. Yo. Sorry. Oh, come back. So then I woke up with this thing where this nostril is hundreds. This nostril is like the highway on a Sunday, and then this nostril is like William Nickel on any day of the week. Like there's a truck stuck. I think there's a truck on the corner of the intersection of sinus and my eye. And then the reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to speak about the fact that one of the biggest lessons this lockdown taught me is decide who you are. Decide. You only have two choices from my perspective. Two. Okay? Choice number one, are you the cloud? Or choice number two, are you the silver lining? And I'm going to tell you why. Because what I've realized over the last 2 years, you can be a cloud. You can look for misery. You can look for terrible things. You can be that person that is thunder. You can be a storm. And even some of you don't believe you're a cloud. And I'm not saying you mustn't be a cloud. I'm just saying if you're a cloud, stop pretending that you're not a cloud and that you're donkor and full of lightning and rain and things. Or are you the person that sees the bright side? Because at the moment, we don't have to look far for stress, guys. Stress can find us at any time. You open any social media platform, any news thing, then it's not just a pandemic anymore. There's a war going on in 2020. Somebody is throwing bombs, and not petrol bombs like our was. I'm talking about bombs with barcodes, actual bombs where the barcode is not black label beer. There's actual bombs. So we're living in this crazy time where I've just realized, listen, you've got to choose your happiness, or bottom line, you are not going to be happy. I can't explain it better than that. So here's my example of how I chose my happiness today. Woke up with a truck stuck on the nostril, blocked, feeling congested, sounding like this. Because like when you sounded like this in 2019, nobody stopped. When you walk into somewhere sounding like this at the moment, people literally start treating you like you've got leprosy. And people just are like, hey, Corona, hey, Papa Corona, hey. So then I'm like, now I'm doing this thing digital, so you guys can't receive. The only thing you can hear is my Corona. You can't receive it because 5G is good, but it's not that good. So now the 2020 the silver lining for me is on any other day of the year. If I was doing a live gig and I woke up with a blocked nose and things in my head, and I feel like I need to blow my nose so stuff can come out of my ear. I can't explain how clogged I am. Like it's more rough than I can even explain. But look at me. The only comedian in 2022 making money with a blocked nose. That's got to count for something. Imagine if it was going to be live. Now I was going to be stressing. I was going to have to go for tests to make sure, because people don't believe you. They don't see paperwork and documentation. Me, I'm double vaccinated, and I'm double vaccinated in the space where I don't care about your vaccine opinions. I don't care about how much research you've done. If your debit orders are not dependent on you being able to go to places where there are people, you must chula and leave us to get our shots. Because me, I want to travel. I want to use my passport. I want to make money. I want to do things, and we can't have live anything. We're going to be talking here to people. So let's talk about what we've all been through. I told you you've got to decide, and I'm going to make sense of the cloud and the silver lining by the end of what I've got to say. But bottom line, you've got to decide. And the clue is in the theme, 2020 you. For me, your happiness starts with you realizing that nobody, you see all of these hundreds of people that have logged on here, not one of these people are responsible for your happiness, your motivation. Not one of these people are responsible for telling you you're beautiful or not beautiful. None of these people can decide. So my barometer has become simply this. Number one, I, Jason Goliath, am damn bloody beautiful. Like, I don't care what angle you're looking at me at. I'm more beautiful. Since the pandemic, I'm even more beautiful. Because why? Nobody can see the rest of my body. You see, from here down, from here to here, I could just be a bodybuilder in the off season. From here to here, my body is a mystery. The rest of because my body is shaped like a butternut here. I don't know if you can see this part here. Let me not show you too much because I know there are children that are watching in the background. But the point is with this body, with this shape, because my advice, and please write this down somewhere, is find your happiness where your feet are. If this pandemic didn't teach you that the only thing we have is time, and if you're waiting to be happy, you might not have time. We were talking to people on the phone today, and we were going to their funerals in a couple of weeks' time, which means we don't have time. Then I realized this time is my responsibility, and then I went full. I went full into how do I find happiness? Okay, so happiness, the recipe. Those of you that can cook, you're going to love this because there's no onions and no nuts. So if you're allergic, there's no nuts in happiness. Some of you, if you're married, you have nuts in your happiness, but that means you don't have nut allergies, and that means you can be fine. Your happiness as a recipe, if you were a chef, I believe doesn't start. A lot of people say happiness starts with gratitude. I go, yeah. Gratitude is very important, but gratitude is the potato in the curry. It's not the main ingredient. What is the lamb? The main ingredient. And if you don't eat lamb, feel free to replace this with tofu, because do you, boo-boo, do you. If you want to be vegan, it's fine. The only thing I request from all of the vegans online is behave yourselves at all points, and please act accordingly. Don't come to my braai with your vegan sausages. As a South African man, there's something very offensive about somebody bringing something shaped like your things, smells like your things, and then when you bite it, it's not a horse, it's a carrot. No. If you want to be vegan, eat your salad. Eat your salad. Stop trying to make your things look and taste like our things. It's confusing for us. It's confusing for us to know that this plant did not even have a pulse, and now I'm trying to make sure it's... Number two, if you are a vegan, please, if you're texting me, because I know what's happening now, the vegans are already texting each other, because you know the vegans have their vegan WhatsApp group. And in the vegan WhatsApp group, I can guarantee you what is happening right now is somebody has just typed, OMG, I can't believe Jason Goliath really said that. Look at his body. He should try something vegan. Looks like he only eats a whole lamb every single day. I'm not worried about the rest of the insults. You can insult me as much as I want. I've already told you I'm beautiful. What I particularly am worried about is the fact that you, as a vegan, are not obeying the principles that were laid in Sunday school. Oh, now nobody's been to Sunday school. Guys, even the Bible said we must not be vegan. Abraham did not sacrifice a lamb. It was, I mean, not half a cabbage and a beetroot. He sacrificed a lamb. Even the, okay, that's not. I feel like who else can I don't, now, let me read these comments, because now I'm not sure. I don't want vegans to log off. Okay, let's rather go. Okay, so Melissa's laughing. Melissa, that means you're not vegan. Melissa does. Okay, I also want to just have a quick message for the atheist people. I don't mind. Do whatever you want, as long as you're happy. And this is the secret of happiness. And I'm going to keep telling you guys how this works. I don't mind. So if you're vegan, just remember, it's fine. But don't tell us, because we can see. And number two, if you are atheist, it's also fine. Okay? If it's also fine. If you believe in nothing, that's very fine. But then don't send me a text going OMG, because that's our things. You must say OM, nothing. Okay? Are we focused? Do you understand where I'm trying to get to? Okay. Now let's get to the beginning. The number one secret to the recipe is acceptance. And I'll tell you why. Acceptance is the thing that is going to set you free. Why? Because acceptance is the only way you can truly love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, log off, go somebody else, go somewhere else, because you've got no chance at happiness. And if you don't love yourself, you're the type of person that is driving 110 in the fast lane, and when I come behind you, you press your brakes. I can see very well you don't have medical aid, you don't have insurance, but you're angry for no reason. You're angry. Why? You have not accepted who you are. Do you know who you are? 110 in the fast lane on the highway. You are the cloud. Just accept that you're the cloud. I'm not saying don't be the cloud, but don't pretend to be smiling and to be happy and pretend that I was ruining your day. Me, acceptance has got me to a space where literally, I've had to work on it. I've had to embrace it. I've had to hone myself. Wake up every single morning, look in the mirror and tell myself I'm beautiful today, with my overlapping stomach syndrome, with my horrible debit order situation, with all of the stress in the world. If you can't find your happiness in that moment, you've wasted it. It took me a long time. I first had to stop competing with who I like to call, and you know them. Because as anybody in the world at the moment, marketing is trying to teach us that beauty and sexiness and attractiveness has a very specific look, and more particularly, a very specific shape. I've got the Instagrams. I've got Instagram. Instagram is a platform where it looks like nobody's ever missed a debit order. Everybody's got money. And even if they don't have money, they'll come take pictures next to your money and hashtag blessed. Stop it. If you don't honestly believe in yourself, you see me, I have stopped competing with the guys that have that, what I like to call the vrpa body. You know the Maps Maponianis, vrpa. You know the John Quentin-Lee, vrpa. You know the vrpa bodies, ladies. Don't pretend you don't like those pictures and go and scan for more underpants and six-pack. Don't pretend you don't like vrpa. Boompa. You see, I've got a boompa body. It's very similar to a vrpa body, but what is it designed for? Long distances. What is it designed for? Relationships. What is it designed for? Getting married. Yeah, you want vrpa, you don't have this. You want Virpa in the streets, but you don't have this. Oh, some of you are attracted to me right now. My wedding ring just vibrated 3 times. I'm going to remind you. I'm married. Stop it immediately. Then people have been asking me, like, do you mean this thing? Is it a sincere thing that you love yourself as you are, the way you are? Because acceptance means I'm tired of people being vicarious about their happiness and going, I'm going to be happy when. So lots of people go, I'm going to be happy when I get a new job. I'm going to be happy when I get in a relationship, when I get divorced. You know yourself. Good luck with that. I hope it doesn't cost you too much money. I'm going to be happy when I lose weight, when I buy a new weave. I'm going to be happy when. Then if your happiness is not where your feet are right now, in honesty, what makes you believe that your happiness is coming? Then me, I have accepted everything about my life to the point that I love procrastinating. Then what did I do? I hired somebody that doesn't procrastinate. I share the money, but we make more money because procrastination is out. Because why? I am a procrastinator. In fact, you guys are very lucky I didn't log on to this gig on Monday. That's how badly I procrastinate. But you know why I didn't log on Monday? It's because somebody was here unprocrastinating me and telling me that I need to be on the thing, because I have started accepting myself. I tell myself every day I'm beautiful. I tell myself every day that why would women want a streetwise chew when they can have a buffet? I tell myself every single day that I'm funny. I'm funny. And even if you don't find me funny, I'm still married. My wife laughs even at the jokes that are not funny. I'm fine. It's just about making sure you believe in you. But wait, hold on. I'm muting so I can blow this. Wait, I think the truck got started on the N1, and I think it's about to come out on the. Just don't look at me, everybody. Just don't. Everything is coming out okay. I need one more blow. I'm coming back now. One more blow. Everything is coming out okay. We've got movement. I think they've repaired the robot on the N1. Salty, delicious, wonderful. Where were we? Let us continue. So, what I'm trying to say to you is this: motivating you, your responsibility. There are people in your life that love you, that will try to motivate you, but when you make it their responsibility, you're never going to be motivated. So you've got to start believing that, hey, you're enough. You've done enough. Remember your story. Remember all the things you went through. Remember the things that you were going through that you didn't even think you were going to survive. Remember those times when you thought, how am I going to face the world ever again? Now look at you. Your hair's grown back. You don't even have a bubble ass anymore. Simpiwe has still got his camera on. Thank you, Jesus. One team for 2020. I appreciate you, my brother. We're gonna keep going. Then I got to the space where I started feeling bulletproof. And you must understand, I grew up in the United States of El Dorado Park. For those of you that don't know El Dorado Park, I know you watch the news, so you know Mitchell's Plain, Cape Flats, and you think all colored people come from there. We don't. I come from Johannesburg, Mitchell's Plain, Cape Flats, obviously in Cape Town. For colored people, Mitchell's Plain, Cape Flats, that is our head office. It's very similar to El Dorado Park, but we've just got a satellite caravan branch office in Nyana. We don't have medical aid and we don't have company cars. We steal cars. It's fine. No, it's fine. We move on. But I come from El Dorado Park, and growing up in El Dorado Park, you've got to have a thick skin. Why? Because our parents never had money to take us out of the kasi to entertain us. Then we had to rely on our creativity, and we started the original kasi roast. If you don't know what a kasi roast is, we call it a guara for a guara. Guara for a guara, Mom John's, it's not a guara you're thinking about. I promise you, this doesn't mean that. I saw your one eyebrow go up. Did he just say? No, I did not. It's a kasi roast. Ask anybody from the kasi. They will tell you, guara for a guara, it's a roast. It's teasing each and other. And so anyway, the point is, I've now built myself up. And because I've come from Aldo's, I've been drilled. My skin is thick. I've had guys make fat jokes about me that you actually can't believe. I literally had a guy, I'm walking past the church. The children start running around me. The children from the Sunday school start running around me and singing around the world, around. There is no fat joke that you can make that can offend me. The best fat joke I've ever heard, and I say this all the time for years, is some kid walks up to me, looks me dead in the eye and says to me, Yarme bro, you so fat when you jump on the scale in the bathroom, that scale must sound like an old 325 IS BMW Kusheshe just coming out. Whoa, pop, 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 pop. Simply, it's not funny. I can't believe you're laughing. If you're laughing at this, you're insensitive and you're body shaming. Oh, pop, pop, pop. Now, the reason I found that thing funny is because what happens is we give people our power. People come, they say nonsense about us. We take that stuff personally for absolutely no reason. Now we start catching us for no reason. But when this lady said this thing to me, I can picture the funniness. Why? Because I weigh over 130. You buy your scale where? At Clicks. You see that scale at Clicks only goes 120. So when I jump on that scale, have you ever seen a scale take a deep breath in before it gives you results? Like when I jump on those scales that you buy at Clicks, it literally goes Oh, pop, 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 pop. And I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. It's a visual gag. You can see the rev counter going. I thought it was hilarious. When I started being able to survive jokes like that, I realized that I'm taking my power back. I'm not giving people the power to have any type of influence over the way I feel about myself. I got to a point where I realized if you and my debit orders are not in the same group, your opinion means the Lord. That deserves a round of applause. I sang with one nostril operation. I think that is something impressive. I almost suffocated myself for you guys and it. So the point I'm trying to make is you've got to bolster yourself. You've got to stop pretending that you are somebody else. You've got to see you as you. For a long time, I believe that if the lighting was right, this is good lighting now. I look amazing. You can see my skin. You can see we are not washing our face with sunlight anymore. We are using sunlight for other things now. We are using proper, nice Vaseline and things here. Anyway, that's not the reason I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is stop pretending you are not the person you are. Stop buying one size too small and looking like a balloon squashed inside. I've seen some of you that look like your pants is under arrest. I've seen some of you that look like your belt is in a hostage situation, like it wants to cry. I've seen some of you ladies surrendering your baby toe to wear these fashion shoes that are not designed for your body. Now you end up walking like, I don't even need to describe, but you know yourself. You can see somebody who, when they take their shoe off, they keep nicks because the baby toe might stay in the shoe. You can see those ladies got a club. They want to look nice. They're wearing things. Hey, and in the mirror, when you were holding your stomach in before you had one savannah, things were leke. Then when the bloat came, people start calling Greenpeace when you fall to push you back into the water and some. It's rough. When I say accept you and love you the way you are, this is the detail that I'm talking about. So that when somebody says something terrible about you, you literally brush it off. You find it funny too. And if you laugh, immediately that person's power goes away. Because I'm not for everybody. But for those that I am for, hey, they dream about me. Believe me, there are 10 women on this platform that have never even been attracted to a fat person, all of a sudden licking their lips going, I believe there's a cold front coming. Why would I sleep with a sheet when I can have a duvet? Come on, I'm a double bed, maybe king size, depending on the weather. But it's the point. Then, important. I'm out of breath. I forgot I only had one nostril. I went too much energy. Just give me a second. I'm fine. I've got a good medical edge. Okay. So then, now, this thing is not easy. Okay? On a serious note, jokes aside. This thing is not easy. Believing in yourself every single day and choosing to be an optimist, choosing to find the silver lining, choosing to find the best. Waking up on a day like today when you feel terrible and going, yes, I don't need to see people so I can still do this. I'm just going to pop all of my pills, drink a Red Bull, perspire on the thing, but immediately when I log off here, I can just pass out. And I'm still making my car payment this month. What a pleasure. You can choose to be the silver lining or the cloud, but it's hard. It's hard. So it's one of those things that the world is consistently going to try and strip it away from you. You're going to wake up, make yourself feel good. And before I tell you this very important piece, I need you to understand that your relationship with yourself, particularly your happiness, is a very counterintuitive relationship. It's very counterintuitive. It's not like happiness is a very unique emotion. And it's the most expensive. Like if happiness was an emotion, it's got red souls. It's got Louis what. If happiness was an emotion, it's got Kanye West logo somewhere. Like it is expensive for no reason. For no reason, it's expensive and it's hard to maintain. It's hard to keep it there. Then I listened to a thing that made me realize happiness is the only feeling that is counterintuitive. Because you think that you've got all of these people that are dependent on you, and well done. Because if you logged on here, your life is fine. You've got to exist in a space of gratitude. Why? Because you still got a pay slip. And if you've got a pay slip in 2020, you best believe the only thing you need to do is change the small word in the morning every day. You can either wake up and be the cloud and say, today I have to, or wake up and be the silver lining and change the word have to get to. Today, I get to talk to people. Today, I get to go to work. Because it's a pandemic. People are unemployed. And therefore, if you have a job, whether you like the job doesn't even matter. If you've got a job, you must be grateful. And if you're ungrateful, laminate your payslip. Put it behind the bathroom door. So after you have your morning meeting, you're going to look at those numbers and realize, thank goodness, I'm part of the 0.001% that is still Okay, now here's the counterintuitiveness. You then going to spend all of this expensive happiness making other people happy, waiting for them to return the favor, frustrating yourself in the interim, watching people surpass you and do lovely things in their life and catching bitter innards for no reason. Now you are that person keeping nicks that somebody falls for the Olympic Games. You are that person wishing bad luck on people. It's counterintuitive, and this is how I came to the conclusion. Years ago, the announcement has changed a bit now, but years ago, there was an airline announcement, and the airline announcement simply said, women traveling with children, in the event of an emergency, please put your own mask on first. Now, as a kid, I couldn't understand how can you ask a mother to save herself before she saves her kids? Are you crazy? You are no mothers. The word love is not enough to describe a mother's love for a child. Now you're telling mothers to please save themselves and then save the kids. Then I realized if mommy dies, everybody's dying. If mommy dies, everybody dies. So think about all of the people that you look after, all of the people who you make happy, all of the people you want to make happy. Then it's counterintuitive in the sense that the more happiness you give yourself, the more you understand and ask yourself questions like, what even makes me happy? What makes me happy? What is my happiness? And am I giving effort and time, as much effort and time as I'm giving for everybody else? Am I giving that effort and time to my own happiness? Because the more happy you make yourself, the happier you can make those around you. So now, remember, we're loving ourselves, we've accepted ourselves, we're existing in a space of gratitude by simply saying we get to, and acknowledging how lucky we are. But then you're going to go in the world and somebody's going to ruin your day. So I was telling you about the Quara for a Quara, right? I got invited to Eldorado Park 2019 to be a judge in the Quara for a Quara competition, okay? So it's a kasi roast, I promise you. So it's amazing for me because finally these kids are being taught that you can use your creativity, and this is positive, and I'm watching the show and the creativity is amazing. These lighties of all ages are just going at each other, mad, like saying stupid, foolish things like, yeah, you are so poor. Last night your mother made pop an imagination for supper. Have you ever been so broke you've got to imagine gravy? We know pap and tuck. But you have to imagine gravy. Tomato, onion, garlic. You've never been so broke to not have garlic. Yeah, this thing's rough. These kids are taking each other apart. Eventually, great story. This 14-year-old kid wins, but this guy looks 9. Like, he is small. You can see his mother's shame. There's only no name brand items in the fridge. You know, one of those kids, just small, got the Harry Potter spectacles, and you can see he's like a candidate for being bullied. But this guy, in terms of wit, has now been shown that he can fire at anybody. He destroys the whole field, wins the competition. As I go on stage to hand him his prize, the whole crowd starts going, Quara, Quara, Quara. So I feel bad. I'm like, guys, this is not fair. I am Cristiano Ronaldo of Quara for a Quara. Now we're going to make me take on a 60-year-old Dr. Kumalo. Come on. This is not fair on this poor child. This lady doesn't hesitate, grabs the mic out of my hand, takes a step back to get my full body in his view, looks me straight in the eye and says, yeah, my bro, you so fat from far, your body looks like an uncooked fat cook. You see, I was prepared. If he said, from far your body looks like a fat cook, a fried bread, everybody loves fried bread. It's the Lord's work. And if he said I look like fried bread, I'd be like, of course, I'm everybody's favorite and I'm delicious and I leave you with a glow around your face, make you healthy. Nice times. But he said uncooked, which means this guy's trying to say that my body shape is dependent on the weather. I've been to Spar to buy that bag of dough where you take it out the fridge, it's behaving itself, it's nice and small, and then the closer you get to the till point, it starts waking up. You get home, the thing is trying to climb out. This guy had me before acha and paloni. He had me before mince, before jam. He had me in a space where I was hurt and offended. And I'm going to tell you what I said to him because I'm quite petty. Like, I'm in petty label levels of petty. I'm a very petty person. But in that moment, I realized that your armor is never going to be bulletproof. So you've got to keep reinforcing why you accept yourself, why you love yourself, what you actually want, where you're actually going every single day. Every single morning, you've got to wake up and choose happiness. Here's a couple of tricks before I go. Trick number 1, start journaling. I was against this thing because I was like, journaling? I'm not in Scooby-Doo. What am I? Like, you know what I mean? No, journaling. And all I do now, I've got a little book next to my bed. Before I go to sleep at night, I force myself to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for today. Okay? Last night, things were simple. Firstly, it was the hamburger that my fro made for me because it was more delicious than hamburgers that were found on the street. The second thing I was grateful for was that we're alive. We can breathe. We are in a situation where we are brimming with potential and can do anything. The third thing I was grateful for was that there are so many artists that have lost everything, and here I have a gig tomorrow. I wrote that down. I woke up this morning, and that's the first thing I read so that I start my day in a space of gratitude and not falling into the trap of the world. Guys, the world is going to make you forget about the things you have and think that they are worthless and only look at the things you still need to get and then make you feel like you're not doing anything. I remind myself every day of what I've got. I've got love in my heart. I've got a wonderful wife who takes care of me. I've got food in the fridge. I've got lights. I've got two beautiful miniature dashuns. And if you don't like puppies, we can't be friends. These are the types of things that life is all about. All of the other stuff will come if you wake up every day and dala what you must. It's an old colored proverb that says, stop relying on everybody else and dala what you have to dala. Because if you're not dalaring, you're going to get dalared. And as someone who likes to dala, trust me, you don't want to be dalared. That can be very uncomfortable. I want to stay online for 5 minutes to answer questions. I think it may have been a little bit erratic and maybe a little bit crazy. I should also back up so you don't see as much cholesterol pouring out of my face. Maybe I should just take a dab. And then, yeah, so I'm going to stay. If anybody has questions, I'm opening the comment section now. So thank you for voting for me. I was hoping not to open the comment and see, hey, we should have voted for Scout. I appreciate all of you. I'm loving the Dala what you must. Thank you, Lebati. Thank you, Rubom Bora. Yeah, what a great surname, Rubom Bora. It sounds like it would be featured in a movie and a song. Rubom Bom Bom Bora, Bora, Bora. And in fact, I'm here live. So if you have questions for me, you can switch on your camera, switch on your microphone, and ask me a question. Other than that, I think that brings us nicely to the end of our situation. I had a lot of fun with you guys. And when you think about the fact that I was doing this fun with one nostril, I think it is quite exemplary. I'm so proud of myself. Like, I've never done many things with one nostril because an engine like mine, with the price of petrol at the moment, one nostril is just not enough. Okay, so no questions. Nobody wants to switch on their camera and take a chance. I'm not gonna tease you a lot. Look how happy Mom Johns and Simpiwe are with their cameras on. If anybody else had their cameras on, I'm sorry, my screen didn't allow me to see you. So I'm gonna count down from 10. 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6, 6, 5, 5, 4, 4. Thank you so much, guys. 3, 3. Hamilton, away, brother. I see you. Alfred de Jager, I see you, brother. Away, dog. Alfred switched his camera off immediately. He was like, hey, let me get out of here, man. Figile. Got a question for me? Who's got a question? No questions? Everybody happy? Everybody feeling okay? Makwala. Hey, Makwala, the way you went to go and research an expensive house, we don't believe you. Your background is lying. What is that? 75-inch? You don't even pay TV license, you? You're fine. Masood Awema second, I see you there. I see you. You see Masood's background is like, Masood put himself in like, is that a gym or like an office with lockers? Or like just in a place in a gym. Yeah, I think I'm going to get that background because from this angle, even me, I can be in the gym. Even me. Any other final questions? I hear somebody's microphone on. Oh, it's Fisan. Put on your camera, Mamtuk. Erika Patuk. I feel like that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Listen, it has been rough. The reason I'm spreading this thing about happiness is because I just don't want it to be too late. I don't want it to be too late. I don't want you to be waiting for your happiness because we read these fairy tales and we believe it's just going to happen. It's not going to happen unless you make it happen. It's not going to happen unless you understand what it is. Find your happiness. My happiness comes from making people laugh. I do it all the time. Whether you've bought a ticket or not, whether you are at the toll gate, at the toll, or whether you're a CEO, making people laugh is the thing that makes me happy, and I've managed to find it, and I consider myself honestly luckier than a lottery winner to be able to do the thing that makes me happy for money. Not everybody's that lucky. So find your happiness and just start giving it attention. Just start nurturing it. Treat it like a bonsai, and eventually you'll have a poem and you'll be fine. Not like Sikosana who smokes poem, but you'll have a...
So, Jason.
Yes.
We actually do have a question. So,
yes, go for it.
Someone's actually asked, what is it to Dala? What does it mean to Dala what you must?
That's a great question. So Dala what you must, it's got a lot of different variants. It's just like aware, the word has a lot of different descriptions. But when I say Dala what you must, initially as a kid you would say it if somebody is threatening you and you're not scared, then you'll say Dala. Dala what you must. Dala whatever you're going to dala, I'm here for it. So generally it would be used to, not as a threat, but to, if somebody threatens you, to basically say to them that you're not scared. In my older years, I learned that you can use it not only to defend yourself, but as a motto that says, do what you got to do. Stop expecting it from anybody else. Don't expect it from your wife, your brother, your sister, your husband, your colleagues, your superiors. And it's like, I don't know if it's just me, but I realized during this pandemic that nobody on earth goes to bed worrying about my debit orders and my problems. Why? Because everybody's got their own stuff. Everybody's got their own stuff. And I just find so many people waiting for opportunity to come. And I don't know if it's like the way we've been indoctrinated, but I'm saying do what you got to do. So, like, I'll give you an example. So many people have said to me, move to America or immigrate, and I go, nah, I love South Africa because South Africa is the type of country where if you really want it, you can have it. And then people say, what do you mean? I say, well, first of all, I got this from a Bali, a very rich Bali that does business in Europe, he does business in Australia, does no business in South Africa, but he lives here. So I say to this Bali, maybe about 55, buying for 60. And I say to this Bali, I'm like, hey, Bali, so why don't you live there? If you make your money in Australia, why don't you live there? And he just looked at me in my eyes and he said, acceptance, my boy. I said, what does that mean? He said, I've accepted who I am. I said, what does that mean? He said, no, I've accepted that I like first world things, but I need a little bit of third world thinking. So I was like, what does that even mean, Bali? And the Bali looked at me and he said, you see, in Australia, when you get stopped for speeding, you go to jail. But in South Africa, when you get stopped for speeding, there's a small window period in Yana when you can say, Boza, come on, Boza. I mean, Boza, look at this car, Boza. I mean, plus it's very hot today, Boza. I mean, looking like you're thirsty, man. I've got a couple hundred here. So he said to me, he's accepted the fact that he wants some first world amenities, but he needs a little bit of, wiggle room. And what I learned from that, not only was the fact that I think I may be very similar and love South Africa for the same reasons, but what I learned from that is play by the rules of the field, especially if you're not in charge and the one making the rules. To be the cloud means you wake up every day and complain about the rules. So you wake up every day and complain about a government that you know. You can't be surprised anymore when you see things happening. You wake up every day and complain about an economy that you know, you are aware. So I'm like, I can only complain about the things that I can control. So dala what you must means, yes, all of these negative things can be there, but what do you want? What do you want to do? And then realize that nobody's going to do it for you. You're going to do it for yourself. So just damn well do it. Dala what you must. I think that was a long one-nostril explanation.
And then we have a question from Camille. My camera's on Mamduk already.
Erika Patuk. Erika Patuk.
Camille says, do people still say Jits geblitz?
Jits geblitz.
Camille, I'm saying that correctly,
Camille,
right?
I'm from Eldorado Park, not Benoni. I don't know. Jits geblitz. I mean, it's the same word. I mean, very similar, very, very similar. But Jits geblitz. I don't know what does Jits geblitz mean. Who said? Come on, and explain Jits geblitz. Hey, do people still say Jits geblitz?
Camille, we need you.
I don't know what that means. I think that maybe means that the coals are still too hot for the meat or for the braai. I have no idea what Jits geblitz. I have no idea what that means. So I don't know. I'm sorry to expose you and your 1970s slang, but it is.
But awesome, guys. I must thank you, Jason, so much. I mean, I'm seeing the comments. They are very thankful that, you kind of closed the Friday. People are ready to knock off now. So I don't know, that will have to be spoken about with their corps and their HR managers.
Tell them Jason Goliath it's fine. Tell them Jason Goliath it's fine. Go home. Pack up right now. Have a great weekend. But Jason said it's fine, guys. Jason said it's fine. Listen, I love this 2020 you. And I just want you to remember at all times, like, it's not selfish, it's generous. Because the more you 2020 you, the more you can 2020 everybody else. But start with you. 2020 you. Make sure you're okay. Look after yourself. Do small little treat things for yourself. Just find your happiness. But I met a lot of people who can't answer the question. Start by answering the question, what makes me happy? It can take you a year. be warned. It doesn't happen overnight, but until you have an answer for the question, it's very hard to find the thing. So start by figuring out what makes you happy. Sharp, away. Thanks for having me. Love all of you.
Thank you
Big
so
love.
much,
Wishing you
Jason. Have
nothing
an
but the
awesome
best.
one.
Nothing but the best.
Everyone,
Nothing but the
thank
very,
you
very
so
best.
much. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll be in touch soon.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers, everyone.
Salute and away, Masakenas. Bye.